Hi, welcome back to the channel, A Busy Retirement with me, Georgie. It's actually Tuesday the 23rd of June. I did record this video on Saturday and I'm going to have a bit of a moan right now, or a bit of a whinge as we'd say in Australia. When I was doing the video, the last one, and I said about software updates screwing things up, well, I did the video on Saturday, had two short ones and one a little bit longer, and then the full length one, so about 30 minutes worth of video. And when I went to transfer it to my PC, I didn't realise my phone had done an update in the morning and everything in my camera files had been sent to the cloud. I didn't realise that. I just did what I normally do, select the four, transfer them across to the PC, and it started going. And one, I think it was only a short one, that was my test to see if my microphone was working with the phone. That went, and then it said the cloud timed out during transfer. And I thought, the cloud? I don't put anything on the cloud. I don't subscribe to clouds. I need everything on my computer. Well, was that a nightmare then, trying to figure out how to get access to my videos to get them onto my computer. I finally got it sorted yesterday. I actually uninstalled the update on my phone. Even that didn't work. So I had to go around about. I was Googling all over the place, watching videos. And of course, every time they said, you know, and get to the settings and tap on this, I didn't have that option to tap on. So that's why I am late, unfortunately, but I'm here. That's the main thing. So that's my moan, my whinge, no more. From now on, it's going to be smooth sailing for this video because they're not going to go to the cloud. Okay, now I did get my laminate sheets, but what I'm going to do with you today, I'm only going to laminate one of my printouts, one of my labels, and I'm going to do these labels for these the stationery drawers. So at least once I've done it, I bring it back in. I'll show you on the cutting machine how it cuts it out, and then how to get them off and put them onto your canisters or whatever you're putting them onto. Now, what I did do, I didn't have any cardstock, and I'm not ready to start making bookmarks yet, but I did the one that I showed you how to make bookmarks. I did print it out. Now, these are very large, well oversized bookmarks. I don't need them this big, but this was just for me to show you what to do. I'm not going to laminate them because to me that would be a waste of a laminate sheet. But what I would do with the card ones is I could do something on the back as well. I don't know, I'll think of something. And then what you could do, instead of just laminate sheet on one side, you could actually put this into a laminate pouch. Put it through a laminating machine, and then it's laminated on both sides. It won't matter if drink gets spilt on it. Now, with the laminate pouches, you can get cold press ones. The ones I have are heat press. So that's why I didn't want to use it. I could have put it in a pouch, but I'll do that when I actually do some real bookmarks on good. This is very thin card. It's just a sheet that I had sitting in the drawer, not being used for anything. So I just did it as a practice run, and just so I had something to show you. We could turn them that way and have them smaller and fit more on the page. So that is a video for another day. So what I've had to do, because I've got limited space on my desk here behind me, I was going to show you from here how to put the laminate over the labels, but I couldn't get the overhead camera. There's not enough space to be able to put it, so it actually gets it all in square. It was all sort of cockeyed and yeah, didn't look too great. And the other thing, there's one thing I wanted to talk to you about. I'll just do a brief thing now, but I'll get more into it after I've done the laminate, and then I come back and I can then do my screenshot. But with the I think it was when I did the PowerPoint labels, and I said that you had to wait 24 hours from print being done to the laminating. Well, I actually went and did a search for why. I couldn't remember. I knew it was something to do with gases building, but I'm trying to think then, what were the gases? So I've found all of that, and I will talk to you about that when I get back, because I've had to set up in the kitchen to be able to do the laminate bit. There's more space on my kitchen bench and more room for my tripod to fit. So I will see you in the kitchen. Okay, so what I've done now, I've got my labels for the lounge room, the office shelving, and I've got one sheet of laminate here. And what I've done, one of my cutting mats, I've actually taped to the bench top so it won't move. Because what I'm going to need to do is, and I think I might start it at that end and work this way towards me so you can see what's actually happening. So the first thing I need to do is separate the laminate sheet from the backing. And this is not always, oh, that's pretty good. Fairly easy. And then I'm just going to turn back a small amount of the backing sheet. And I'm going to lay this over the edge of my labels. And press it down, and that way that is now stuck down. It's not going to move, it won't slide. Now I don't know if you can see that, you should be able to. I'm not straight there. Now it's not really going to matter with these labels because, as you can see here, I've got quite a wide margin. But if I didn't have a wide margin, I would need to make sure I've got that dead straight on that side and that side. So just to be good, I'm going to lift it and stick it back down. And that way I know it's dead straight all the way. Now for the tricky bit. I need to be able to pull this and at the same time, I need to use the brayer or squeegee to push it so that no bubbles form. Now I did see there's actually you can get a longer squeegee, and it's called a screen print or screen printer's squeegee. So I'm thinking I might invest in one of those because it would be easier to be able to just do the whole lot in one go rather than having to do it bit by bit like this. But as you can see, it's working well. And with a long one, I would be able to just go straight down. But because I've got to make sure there's no bubbles forming, I really have to be careful as I'm going. When I go back to the computer, I'll get the screen printer squeegee up for you and show you what it looks like. It actually came in a set of 3. Okay, so that's it. The laminate is on. Now I don't know why it's curling up. Did you hear that? There's bubbles in it. So I have to make sure I go all the way over it. Now always do it from your centre and work out to push the air out. And this is where I think it would be better with the wider squeegee, because then I wouldn't have this happening, because it seems to me there's a lot in there. I can actually see in some areas. Remember when you used to do school books with contact? It was the same problem. You'd have to make sure you got all the bubbles out. But I do remember doing my kids' school books. If there was a bubble, I used to get a pin and then just press the air in around the pinhole. But you don't want to be doing that if you're going to be watering or washing. Now my screen mirror has just gone off, so I'm hoping my phone is still recording, and I don't know why it's gone off, because I made sure the mirror screen thing was fully charged. All right, I think I've got all the, I'm just hearing a few here on the edge. So that's that bit done. Now we'll go back into the lounge room office, and do the next bit. So I'll see you soon. Now, before I put this through the cutting machine, I've got all this excess down the bottom, up the top, and a little bit on the sides. I'm going to need to cut that off. I could stick it down to the mat and hold it down that way, but I think it's easier if I cut it off, because this is actually the bottom corner, and you'll see there's like a little triangle underneath the mark. This is where I have to start my cutting. Now with the blade, I've taken it out so I can show you. I don't know if you can actually see, if I bring it close to the camera, whether you can actually see the blade or not. It's hardly poking out of the housing. So what I'll do, there's a couple of pictures here that I've taken. I don't know if they're clear enough for you, but yeah, it might give you an idea. Actually, I'll put them on this side. There's not much room on this side. So you can see a very, very tiny amount is to come out. Now, one of my Saturday videos, it was interesting actually, because when I was uploading the video from the tablet, the close-up, so you could see what I was doing, the videos that I did on Saturday with the tablet, they were still there, but it was pointless using those videos because I wasn't there explaining it to you. And what I did was I had laminated this sheet. I've butchered it I messed it up. I tried to take the laminate off and I ended up pulling the vinyl away from the backing. So it's a good job it was a dud. But what I did do was tested the depth of the force. I didn't test the depth. I tested the force for cutting out the labels. Now, I thought going through laminate and the vinyl would take a fair bit of force. So I set it to, I think it was 65. And as you can see, it went straight through. So that was definitely far too heavy. So I changed it then to a 30. I thought I'll drop down to 30 and then work my way up in 5s. Now, I don't know if you can see on here. Just wondering, did I take an image of that? Whoops. That's interesting. Right. I didn't. But I did different depths and I've now got it set. I can't remember what it was. I think it ended up at 45. Was the perfect one. That was the perfect force to go through both the laminate sheet and the actual label vinyl. So I don't know if you need me to go through all of this. You've watched me do a cutting before. So what I might do is get this all cut out, put the blade and its housing back in the machine, get it all cut out, and then I'll come back once it's cut and show you. I can take one off. What have I got? Cables and adapters, which is one of those up there. So you don't need to see me putting them on either. So let's see how we go. I'll come back and we'll have a chat. Okay, that has now gone through the cutting machine. I don't know what's happening. I had to turn the computer on behind me because it's not registering that it's on this new computer as well. So I have to keep checking and setting the Wi-Fi up to the IP address. Anyway, it's done. Hopefully it will stick. I don't know. We'll wait and see. So anyway, it's gone through the cutter. There were still a lot of bubbles in. So it did well to actually go over it and not jump. Because sometimes if there's some only needs a little dot of dust or something and the blade can jump. So all I need to do now is grab my little hooky thing. It's nice and sharp. Find where the start of my label is and make sure I pick up the label. And actually what I might do is see if I can pull. No, it won't work because I haven't gone right through to the backing paper. If I'd have gone right through to the backing paper, I could have lifted the whole thing up. So I'm going to have to be very careful now that I get the label as well as the laminate. So I'll lift it up and see if you can see. I'm getting in underneath it. There's my label. And there we go. So there's the first one taken off the sheet at the bottom. So I can now go and stick that on. That one's the battery container. So where all my batteries are is in there. Are they the double A's? They're the double A's and triple A's. So that one, I might actually sit it on this at the bottom just so they all match. It's easier than trying to measure it and centre it. So there's the first of my labels. Can you see that one from here? It's right there. So I can now go and do the rest of these. So not just yet though, because we still have a word puzzle to do, and I've not organised. I haven't got one ready for this week, so bear with me, I will be back shortly. Before we go to the puzzle, I remembered I've actually finished the video and it dawned on me that I forgot to tell you about the gases with the inkjet printers and the laminating. So what I've done is I've done a screenshot of the information that you will need, and rather than post it here right now, I'll put the image at the end of this video, so once you get to the end you can pause it and have a read of it. If you haven't got time to read it now, then you can always come back to this video and then just go to the end. You don't have to try and figure out whereabouts in the video the information is, okay? Go to the end, pause it, and it'll be there, and you can leave it up as long as you need to read it. If you want to take a copy of it, at least if it's paused, you can grab a screenshot of it yourself. Okay, so sorry about that. I'm just going to throw this in the middle of the before the word puzzle, and I will see you in a very little while. Okay, now for last week's puzzle, this one. How did you go? Bend over backwards. Like I said, another easy one. And this week's is another easy one. See how you go with that. Pop it down in the comments. And if you would like to see me do a video from start to finish of designing a bookmark, laminating, doing a front and back, laminating front and back, sending it to the cutting machine, just so you can see how the whole process works, pop it down in the comments. I'm more than happy to go through and do one of those for you. And I've got a few different styles of bookmarks to do as well now, so that might be an interesting exercise. So I think that's it. I think I finally got to the end of the video. I hope I haven't missed anything out. I did write a few things down. I think I'm up to date now, and it is Tuesday evening, 23rd of June, and it's now 7:19 as I am saying bye for now.